Hey everyone, good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well. Just getting some music set up. So if you want to go on the Spotify, if you want to have a playlist for class today, I'm going to be listening to a playlist from 1221 last year, Urban Flow 1221. And so you're welcome to go out on my Spotify account. It's Joe Komar. And then it's going to scroll down quite a bit, obviously, because it's from last year. I don't know if there's a way to search those things. And make sure you have something to drink with you. Any props? I always have my meditation cushion. Sometimes I have my block. I would say if you're practicing regularly, having a block is nice because there's days where it's just going to make sense for you to bring the earth to your body. So days when you really want to be mindful about not over compressing, right, or getting down into a lot of tightness, because sometimes that's when we tweak things. We're trying to go too deep versus activating with our breath and lifting ourselves. Think about the joints of your body. You have the muscles and surrounding, you have the bones, obviously creating the ability for us to construct ourselves. But when you activate those muscles, you lift and you create space off of the joints. If you just are pretty flexible and you jam into your joints over time, that's probably not going to feel so good. So it's not always about going deeper physically. That's why I always talk about the physical, mental, and emotional layers of the practice. And so we obviously want to lift ourselves up, support ourselves in a foundation. So you'll hear all of that come through the cues. So just keep your ears out for that. And then let's go ahead and start lying down onto your backs today. Come into Shavasana. For the past several weeks, you have seen Nicole here on Wednesdays, but she's taken a little break, maybe a week or two, and then she'll be back on Wednesdays. And so I am the substitute teacher today. Let your legs go straight with your arms by your sides, please. And if you've been practicing with us for a while, you'll hear me quite repetitively say, check in with where you are. We have such a tendency of extracting ourselves with the beautiful minds that we were given. As humans, we have this means of extracting ourselves out of the moment, which is not even something that you can develop or create or practice. The moment is the moment. But what we can do is start to adapt our minds, and so that we can synergize or find synergy with this idea of existing in the moment. And so tapping into what you're feeling, you take some inventory on what your day, if you're practicing live or even later practice, taking inventory on what has happened throughout this day. Bend your legs, bring the soles of your feet onto the mat. Arms by your sides. We're going to start in suspending our hips off the ground. So press into your feet. Lift your hips little by little. Certainly it's the first thing we're doing besides lying down, so you don't have to drive to the highest bridge, but support yourself, arms by your sides. Keep your gaze straight up versus looking to the right or to the left. And you feel as you recruit some of the muscles in the back body, your hamstrings, your bum, maybe your low back. And see how you're feeling in your low spine. Take an inhale. And from the upper spine to the lower spine, exhale. And bring yourself back down. And feet on the ground. Take your arms out into a T with your hips heavy. Left ankle to your right thigh, figure four shape. And on your exhale, let both knees fall down to the left, and the shoulders remain pretty flat. And with your left ankle crossed on your right thigh, explore if you feel anything. We're talking about the outer hip flexor on your right leg. It's called TFL. If it gets really tight or overcompensates, it's tethered to the outer thigh, the T-band tissue. And that tissue will wrap all the way in behind your knee. So sometimes people are feeling this sensation in the back of their knees. and it's really coming from the tension in their outer hip flexors. Take a deeper breath in through your nose. And through the nose, exhale all of the air. And draw your belly, slowly come back. And so another technique is before you move, when you transition, firm your belly first, and let's switch. Left foot down, right ankle to your left thigh. So again, this is going to help with people that are more, and for most of us, the tightness is going to hold us in place. And we got to breathe with that tightness and to incorporate strength. Let your knees come down to the right. And shoulders flat. So again, before you transition, firm the belly and then move the belly. So you get used to breathing with a firm belly and supporting yourself and through the integrity of your core, top of your ribs, all the way down to the bottom of your thighs. And waking it up, feel your breath lengthen. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. Belly firm, and then bring your hips back and square, right foot down onto the ground. And then one more time before we roll over, press into your feet, arms by your sides, and hover your bum, lift your hips off the ground. And feel the back body activate. And hamstrings, glutes, muscles around your low spine. And then exhale, slowly bring your back down onto the ground. And firm the belly, take your left arm over your head and roll over onto your left side and come into a tabletop, all fours, and we'll continue to connect to the breath. Hands under your wrists. Okay, that's a close 2 dots, and then wrist to your elbows. It's a little farther. And then wrist all the way to your shoulders, even further. So the more distance we go to connect between 2 points, the more challenging it may be to find that alignment. And so micro adjustments as you need to. Drop the belly, inhale, open the chest, lift the chin, cow pose. Exhale, tuck the chin, round through the spine, dome through the upper back, chin to your chest. Breathe in, lips sealed. And belly down, chest and gaze forward. And exhale, round your spine. And curl your chin into your chest. Again, inhale to extend. And exhale, tuck. Use your belly, round your spine. Feel the strength in your legs. Inhale, flat back. Curl your toes, flex your belly. Exhale, lead with your tailbone, downward facing dog. Outer hips back, inner thighs up, and keep your firm belly drawing in. And lips sealed, press through your hands so your arms are lengthening and straightening. And you can feel it as your tailbone lifts up, and you're projecting the back of your heart forward as your elbows turn down, and that connects you to the strength in your upper back. And start to walk your feet forward, come to the top of your mat. Bend your knees as much as you need to stay in your core. Inhale to lift halfway, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, chest to your knees. Inhale to rise, circle the arms, stand up. Exhale, bring your hands into your heart center. Let your tailbone drop. And feel your chest lift proud. Take a breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Hey, welcome to your practice, everyone. Have a great flow today. Inhale, circle the arms, reach up. Exhale, fold, hands to the mat. And belly in, lift halfway. Inhale. Forward fold, exhale. And stand up, inhale, rise. Strengthen your legs. Exhale, hands into your heart center. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, dive, belly in as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, bow, forward fold. Take it up. Inhale, rise, reach up. Exhale, bring your hands into your heart center. Inhale, circle the arms back up. Exhale, bow, forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step back from your core strength into a high plank. Step, step. Adjust your feet as you need to. Notice the hips are as high as the armpits, especially to support with the strength of your legs. Firm your ribs in. Feel the six-pack deep inside. Pull it into the front of your spine. Bend the arms, lower halfway down, and then come all the way down onto your chest. Untuck your toes. Roll your heart up, baby cobra. Feel your low back muscles. Point your toes. Press the tops of your feet down into the ground. Slide your heart forward. Roll your shoulders back, and then lift your chest a little bit higher. And then a little higher. Keep your elbows in. Feel your cobra. And on your exhale, softly bring your chest back down. Tailbone lifts first. See, I'm in my knees, in my hands. Tailbone just popped up. And then guide the tailbone back. And hips to your heels, child pose. Arms straight, forehead to the mat. Rock on your forehead, side to side. And think about it. If you lead with your tailbone, and you'll connect more to the strength in your upper back in transition versus dumping the weight into your shoulders. Right now, inhale back to center. Exhale, rise up, all fours, tabletop. Adjust the knees, stack the shoulders over the wrist. Inhale, tuck the toes. And belly in, lead with your tailbone, downward facing dog. Outer hips back, inner thighs up, flex your belly. Take the grip out of your jaw. You had a student the other day, and he said, why does everything go into my jaw? Well, it's a very common place into grip in the effort of the experience. And so as the breath continues to move, that's why you hear me say so many times, soften the jaw. And it's very common if your tongue is pressing into the side of your mouth, right? You want it to be soft. Your lips are sealed, breathing through your nose. Bring your big toes together. Inhale, heels up. Bend your knees. Exhale, 2 steps to the top. Inhale, lift halfway. Pull your heart out. And then exhale, dive. Fold back in. Inhale, rise. Circle the arms, stand up. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Use your legs, hamstrings, and glutes. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, dive. Forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Bend the knees, plant the hands, step back from your belly, high plank. Strong legs, hips in line with your armpits, 3 yogi push-ups, lower halfway down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale, press up, lead with your tailbone back, downward facing dog. Left foot stays, lift your right leg up. Find your right leg in space. Kick through the heel and keep drawing your outer hips back. You can roll your left heel down. Feel the stretch in the back of your left leg. Breathe into any tightness in your outer hips. On your next breath, take an exhale. Bring your right knee to your right elbow. Slide your gaze forward. Kick your right leg back. Point your toes. Exhale, knee to your left elbow. Inhale, kick it back. And exhale, knee to your nose. Inhale, kick it back. Step your right foot outside your right hand. Big step. Wide base. Come up to your fingertips. And keep your chest up. So notice the chest is higher than your tailbone. And feel any tension in the front of your left hip. And say top of your thigh. As you roll on your back toes, you can bring your pelvis forward and your right knee will find its way to stack right on top of the heel. And so there's your alignment. Take an inhale. Okay, just roll back on your left toes. Walk your hands to the left. And then pivot, straighten your right leg. You can slide that right heel coming into a side lunge. Okay, as soon as you can, lift your heart back up. Find the balance in your left foot and bring your hands to your heart center. If that's too much, keep your hands on the ground. Little to no weight in your low back. Take a breath on your exhale, hands down. Push off your left foot, come forward, pivot square, and then right hand outside your right foot into the lunge. Press down into your feet. You got to create a foundation, the base of your pelvis, and then rise. Reach your arms up, crescent warrior. And feel the reach up through the back of the chest, lifting the belly out of the hips. Stay with your lunge and exhale. Sweep your arms by your side. Suck your belly in, firm your core best you can. And shoulders away from your ears. Keep your ears slid back. And take an inhale through your nose. Exhale, bring your hands down onto the ground. Step your right foot back into a plank pose. And feel your right leg release. Take an inhale. And lift your tailbone up, downward facing dog. And press into the hands, nice firm connection. And you remember exploring the lightness and the lift, hovering space around the joints. And right foot stays down, lift your left leg up, find that left leg in space. Rather than your right heel lifting up, press your right heel down, pull your outer hips back, inner thighs up, belly stays in. Great. On your exhale, left knee to your left elbow. Inhale, kick back, point your toes. Exhale, knee to your right elbow. Inhale, kick back and up. Exhale, knee to your nose. Inhale, kick back and up. Step your left foot outside your left hand, wide base. Come up onto your fingertips. Take the curve out of your spine. And you're in a flat back and your right leg is straight. So exploring anything you're feeling, top of your right thigh, into your hip crease, roll the weight into your back toes. And feel that bring your pelvis and your left knee stacks right on top of the ankle. Is it okay if your right leg is slightly bent? Of course, you're moving in that direction with your breath, firing muscle. And then feeling the sensation. Let's walk the hands to the right. Pivot your back heel down and straighten your left leg. Okay, slide the left heel back as much as you need. And then as soon as you can, keep the heart up. Hands can stay down. And you can feel your side lunge here or balance. Hands to your heart center. Right, and how you know where to go, exploring your edge, is that your breath is with you. The evenness of the inhale and the exhale through your nose. And it's not about simply forcing in the shapes through your body. You stay in the mindful approach, and so it's breath awareness, feeding body awareness. Take your hands back down. Push off your right foot. Walk your hands back to the top. And pivot your back heel high. Left hand is outside your left foot. Press down into your feet. Feel that floor, base of your pelvis, and then rise. Reach your arms up. You remember, those that are tight, the tightness holds us in place. And so breathing into the resistance and to express. And then if you're flexible, you got to engage the muscles and create that support. And then everybody still follow through with your breath. Bring your arms by your sides. Draw your low belly in firm. The back of your belly into the front of your spine. Excellent. Take an inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands down to the mat. Step your left foot back. Come into a high plank. And hips in line with your armpits. Inhale. 3 yogi push-ups. Exhale. Lower halfway down. Inhale. Straight arms. Come up. Exhale. Lower halfway down. So no rush. Press back up. Exhale. Lower halfway down. Press back up. Tailbone lifts, downward facing dog. And if you've ever wondered, why do we do so many darn yogi push-ups? Well, it's timing, it's connecting the breath awareness and containment of your core. And it prepares you to get lighter and lighter in your vinyasa practice as you move towards postures where you're arm balancing or one day perhaps even inverting. And so you put that awareness in now, and it keeps building a stronger and stronger foundation. And bring your big toes together, lift your heels up, bend your knees, take 2 big steps to the top. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Separate your feet hip width apart. Peace fingers, hook your big toes, and you can grab onto the backs of your ankles. And work your legs straight. As long as you find the sensation in your hamstrings, some of you Bend your knees. You can still find the sensation in your hamstrings. That's what we're going for. Right? If it's running all over your back, right? If it's clenching and gripping down into your low back, you make those adjustments, little bend to your knees, and press down into your feet, and draw yourself down. 3 breaths. At the end of the next exhale, bend your legs, sit down like chair, release your toes, and then reach your arms forward and up. Pull your inner thighs back. You feel that. Sticks your tailbone out. Now tilt your tailbone to the back of your heels. And reach out through your wrist, and you're going to feel a strong core. Thighs, belly, and back in your Utkatasana, wide base. Press the ground away, tailbone down, reach your arms up. Take another breath, reach higher. Left hand grabs the inside of your right wrist and draw it up and over to the right. Feel the side body stretch. You maintain the ground underneath your right foot. With your inhale, rise back to center and switch left hand inside your right wrist and pull it up and over to the left. And just can't say enough about opening up the muscles in between the ribs. You feel it. It's like underneath your armpit. You're like, oh, I'm feeling it. And keep your belly toned. Inhale, rise. Reach your arms back up. And exhale, left arm under your right arm. We're going to keep both feet on the ground. As you wrap your eagle arms, tailbone down. And let's slide the elbows up. As the shoulders stay down, the gaze can lift. And belly in, feel your shoulders for 5. It can be agonizing. 4, breathe into it. 3, 2, and then soften your elbows down. Release your arms by your sides. Feel that, let go. Inhale, arms up, reach. Exhale, bring your right arm underneath your left arm. Okay, the best is when you do these eagle arms, and say about 3 months after you've had a baby, and all you've been doing, and call you all into had babies, you know those 3 months, right? You're holding the baby constantly, right? Your shoulders are all curled in. You do this pose at that point, and you're like, oh my goodness, I've never felt that much tightness in the shoulders before. And soften the elbows down, release the arms by your sides, heel toe your feet together. Shoulders down, belly in, reach your arms up. And exhale, take a dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway, lengthen your spine. Bend your knees, plant your hands, step back into a high plank. You are ready for your flow. Take an inhale. Strong legs, bend the arms, exhale. Tops of the feet, lengthen and lift, up dog. And lead with your tailbone first and come back into your down dog. So no doubt the tightness of the back body will try to curve you or flex you through your spine. So a little bend to the knees if the hamstrings are really tight. Feel your lungs a little more full now with breath. Left foot down, inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step your right foot all the way through. Inhale, rise, reach your arms up. Okay, draw through your upper inner thighs, straighten your front leg. So both legs are straight. Okay, little wobbly, totally fine. Find your center of gravity. Keep your arms up, shoulders back. Bend your front leg slowly. Sweep your arms back by your sides. Feel the lift in the back of your left knee so your left leg is straight and strong. Okay, your chest never moves. Left fingertips down onto the ground. Really not putting any weight there. And then float your right. Is tight. I always say, gee, I don't know why your neck would be tight in 2020. So if it's tight, keep your gaze down. If you have the space without moving the hips, turn your gaze up. And bring your gaze and right hand down. Take an inhale. Bend your left leg. Exhale. Step switch. Left foot forward. Step your right foot back. Big step. Pivot your right heel down. Inside. Warrior two legs. Inhale. Right arm sweeps up. And come into your warrior two. Press through that back heel, lunge the pelvis forward, left knee over your ankle. Now flex your wrists. And so your shoulder blades draw in towards the spine. Keep your ribs in, and like you're trying to press the walls away from you, front and back, spread your knees more. Great. Right hand back of your right leg below or above the knee, and twist your left wrist, reach it up and back in space. Stay here. Make sure your tailbone is down. And then as you feel the ground, no weight in your low back, you can float your right arm behind you. You might get that crack in your sternum, breastplate bone. Bring your arms back, shoulders stack, warrior two, take an inhale. Exhale, windmill your hands to the mat. Pivot on your back toes, step back into a plank pose. Feel your hips draw with your legs. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend your arms, lower halfway. Come through. Inhale, tops of the feet, upward facing dog. And lead with your tailbone and press back into your downward facing dog. And feel your breath, a lightness in your low back. A slight activation and through your hamstrings and through your glutes if you're really open there. So co-contract the muscles. And if you want to know how to do that, the feet don't move, but you're pressing the feet down and then trying to pull them away from each other. Everybody feel that. Press your feet down and then try to pull them away from each other, but your feet don't move. Okay, so that's if you're really flexible. Right foot down, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step your left foot in between your hands. Kick through your back heel. Inhale, rise, arms up. Strengthen the upper back, straighten your front leg. And so both legs are relatively straight. And keep the breath flowing. This is definitely drawing you into a deeper state mentally. Focus, bend your front leg, keep your shoulders back. Take an inhale, arms by your sides, back of your belly, front of your spine, and your right leg is straight and strong. And you always just roll into those back toes, your front knee is over your heel. Chest doesn't move, right fingertips to the mat, little to no weight in your right hand, left arm goes up. And keep the gaze down, you can easily rotate the gaze up. Follow your breath on your exhale, gaze and left hand down. Bend your right leg, step switch, right foot forward, and step your left foot back. Big step. Pivot your left heel down, warrior two legs. Inhale, rise, left arm draws you up. And spread the knees. And from your back heel, lunge without dumping any weight into your hips. Flex your wrists. And shoulder blades squeeze the spine, ribs in, and keep your knees spread. Yeah, feel your breath. Left hand back of your left leg, above or below the knee, right arm goes up. Stay here, feel your feet, bum under, little to no weight in your low back, reach your left arm straight back behind you. And bring it back, warrior two. Gaze over your front wrist, inhale. Exhale, windmill your hands down to the ground. Pivot on your back toes, lift the heels, step back into a high plank. Feel your right leg release, firm your belly. Exhale, bend your arms, lower halfway down. Tops of the feet, inhale, up dog, lengthen and lift. Yes, exhale, come back, downward facing dog. Okay, try it on again, feet down. So now we're adding on outer hips back, inner thighs up, belly firm, press down into your feet and try to move them away from each other. Take 3 breaths here in your down dog. Right, if anything, it'll heat you up. So if you're doing this and it's a little chilly out, nice ways to add a little bit more heat. Bring your big toes together. Lift your heels, bend your knees. Exhale, walk or little hop to the top. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise, stand up, reach the arms up. And draw your belly, exhale your hands to your heart center. Inhale, arms up, bend your legs, sit back into your chair pose. And sit a little deeper into your chair than you did earlier. And feel your thighs still rolling your heart up. Nice. Bring your hands down onto the mat. Spread your knees apart and set your knees into your upper arms above your elbows. So it's a slight curve through your spine. Okay? We're not going to lift the feet off the ground, but the heels are lifted. Press through your palms like you're doing a handstand and let your chin soften in. It is challenging to talk and breathe and be in this pose. So let's take 3 breaths here. Nice. Let the bum come down. Spread the knees out even wider and come into a little frog squat. Let your heels and your bum get heavy. Crawl your fingertips forward. Like child's pose, the head can rest now in between your arms. And feel the breath across your shoulder blade. Great job. And feel it draw back through your upper inner thighs. Yeah, you might feel it for sure in your feet. And if you got a lot of stress in your feet, lift your chin. Walk your hands in just a bit. Okay, so your arms are in front of your shins. Take your right hand back. And then left arm in front of your left shin. Take your left hand back. Lift your bum a little bit. Clasp the hands between your heels and your bum. And then chin down. And if you let the shoulders turn in, the elbows towards the ground, you should feel this in your upper back. Breathe into it. And some of that weight to release. Call your front body. Release your grip. Bring your hands in front. And draw your knees together. And as you roll the spine back up, balls of your feet ground. Hands to your heart center. You'll watch all that weight come out of your low back. Engage your belly. Take an inhale. Exhale. Lift your bum. Start to rise for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs straight. Lower your heels down. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, bring your hands behind your head. Separate your feet so that they're hip-width distance apart. Okay, so a little sway side to side is going to be okay. You put the weight into your right foot, lift your left knee, and then exhale, right elbow towards your left knee. And step down, stand up. Right knee lifts. Exhale, left elbow to right knee. And then we go side to side. Okay, standing bicycles. Feel the standing legs support. And draw the belly in. You do not have to touch the elbow to the knee. And go in that direction. Use your belly and press the head into your hands and versus pulling on your head with your hands. Five, 4, 3, last 2, last 1. Good. Stand tall, feet down. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, arms by your sides. And bow your chin into your chest, feel your feet, and let it drain out of your hips. And place your hands onto your waist. So it's like you're holding onto your waistband. Take your gaze forward all the way into your right foot. Now lift your left knee in front. Figure 4, left ankle to your right thigh. And sit down, keep your chest proud. Balance, hands to your heart center. And as you roll your heart up, and breathe to stretch in the outer hips. And while continuing to wake up your inner thighs. With your inhale, rise, lift your left knee in front, and then kick your left leg straight back, toppling tree, pull your heart forward, and support with the strength in your upper back, and dangle your arms down to the ground. Hinge until your hands touch the ground. Keep pulling your chest forward, and press your right heel into the mat. And so we're maintaining as much space out of your lower back as possible. On your next exhale, now you can fold. Belly comes in, forehead down to your right knee, standing splits. Left hand can stay, right hand on the back of your calf. And feel as you draw your right hand back to the mat, lift your chest. Bend your right knee if you need to. Hands to your heart center, strong upper back, lift the chest, and then step back together, feet touch. Inhale, stand tall. Exhale, hands to your hips, right? You should feel that in your glutes and your hamstrings. Lift your right knee in front. Right ankle to your left thigh. So we're doing plenty. And to activate the hamstrings and the glutes, hands to your heart center. Bend your standing leg. And chest remains proud, eyes focused on one spot. Inner thighs, rise, lift your right knee up. Chest proud, kick your right leg back as you hinge, toppling tree. Pull the chest through, lengthen the sides of your torso. Right? There's no roundedness in the spine, let your arms dangle to the ground. And keep your chest reaching forward and then hinge until your hands, fingertips touch the ground. And keep your left hip back, press your left foot into the ground. Right? It doesn't look like much, but it's a lot when you go inside to feel it. Chest through, shoulders away from your ears. On your exhale, suck the belly in, and now you can fold standing splits. Right hand stays, left hand on the back of your left calf. And support it, bring your left hand back to the ground. Bend your left knee, pull your heart forward. Hands to your heart, lead with your chest, lift the back, and then step your feet together. Feel your hamstring, feel your glutes. Stand tall, arms by your sides. Nice, everybody. Standing a little bit taller than we were before. Inhale, circle the arms, reach up. Bend the knees as you exhale, fold chest and belly to your thighs. And take an inhale with your knees bent. Plant the hands, you're right here. Step back into your high plank. And high push up. And feel it, squeeze. If you can, flex your belly. Hold it as tightly as you can without tensing your jaw for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down onto your knees. And tabletop, take a deep breath in. And feel the space in your hips, pelvis, inner thighs, and low back. And shake your tailbone out a little bit, side to side. And come back to center, spread your knees apart. Mat width, big toes together. Keep the hands where they are. And stretch your bum back, child's pose. And softly place your forehead down onto the mat. Notice the difference in feeling your forehead now versus the beginning when we were rocking the forehead side to side. your inhale, rise up to all fours and crawl your knees forward towards your hands. Knees are mat width apart. Sit down now in between your heels. If you'd like a little sip of water, take a sip, please. Start here. And feel it. The idea is to loosen now. You've been using a lot of this core and top of your knees all the way up to the top of your ribs. So that's really where we're focused. And support the low back with your arms, hands behind. And tailbone forward. Start to feel your quads. And start to feel your knees. And then you can come back, firm your belly down onto your elbows. And keep your ribs in. So you're tilting your pelvis. That's the idea of pushing your tailbone forward. You maintain that support, and then you can come all the way down onto your shoulders, onto your back. You remember that practice of observing if you're clenching your jaw, or pressing your tongue into the side of your mouth. The jaw should remain relaxed, the lips sealed, and the air flowing into your body, into your lungs, and through your nose while keeping your lips sealed. And take your hands down to your ankles, elbows in, draw your belly, lift your chest. You start to lift your chin, come back up to your hands as evenly as you can, and bring your knees together so your inner thighs touch. And set onto your heels, hands onto your thighs, proud chest, humble chin. Close the eyes, feel more space, top of the chest, 3 breaths. At the end of your exhale, look down, hands to ground. Step your right foot back onto the mat, tuck your toes. It'll feel good to release that right leg. Pivot your right heel down like you're in warrior 2 leg, and then reach your right arm all the way up and over. So your left knee stays on the ground. And keep lifting that right hip up. So as you turn your left knee into the ground, and then press your hips out towards the wall you're facing, and connect, you can roll your gaze up inside your bicep. Feel your side body. Right? This is going to make us longer in the interpretation through our mind as we keep lengthening our side bodies. Remember the good breaths into the intercostal muscle stretch. And gaze and circle your right hand back down. Pivot on your back toes, connect to your belly, and bring your right knee next to your left knee. Switch. Step your left foot back, tuck your toes. Pivot your back heel down like warrior 2. Right hand is set. Reach your left arm up. And at first, reach your left arm over. Now lift that left hip to the sky. Press down into your right knee. And then you can press your hips towards the wall you're facing. You might feel it more into your bottom leg, hip crease. Eventually roll your gaze up inside your bicep. And slowly bring your gaze and left hand down. Pivot on your back toes first. And firm your belly. And bring your left knee back forward. Crawl both knees back. And come into a tabletop. Spread your knees mat width apart. Left hand stays. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And then exhale, thread the needle, right arm underneath your left armpit. And come down onto your shoulder. And turn to the side of your head. You've been working this posture, and so you can stay big toes together, knees apart. Pay attention to your neck. And your option is to bring your left arm behind your back and fingertips into the right hip crease. Oops. And so the back of the hand goes around the side, and then your fingertips will catch to your inner right thigh. And feel that in your anterior serratus. It feels just like the back of your ribs. And breathe into it. 3 breaths. And any stop along the way, it'll always give you the possibility of going to another step, another layer. But you can be anywhere from left hand on the ground into working your left hand behind your back to your forearm, then eventually into your fingertips and your hip crease. You slide your left hand back around and left hand to the ground. So we always come back to the same place anyway. Slide your right arm out. Right hand top of the mat. And the right arm should feel different than your left arm. Inhale, reach your left arm up. And thread the needle, left arm underneath your right armpit. Come down onto your shoulder. And turn the side of the head. And feel it settled in your shoulder. And your right arm can go back behind. Now don't be surprised if your shoulders feel a little different, one side to the other. Stay with it. 3 breaths. Right on. Slide your right hand down if you've got the bind, and bring your right hand back around to the mat by your face. Push the mat away. Slide your left arm out. And come back onto all fours. Bring your knees all the way together so they touch. And reset. You'll feel longer in your arms. Kick your right leg straight back in space. Find that leg in space. Flex the ankle. Reach your left arm forward. Take an inhale. Exhale, crunch elbow to your knee. Inhale, kick back, reach forward. Exhale, crunch elbow to your knee. 3 more. Inhale, kick back, reach forward. Exhale, elbow to your knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex. Feel your core. Last one. Exhale, flex. Switch, hands down, knees ground. Arms straight. Inhale, left leg back. Exhale, right arm forward. Take a breath in. Exhale, crunch, elbow to knee. Inhale, kick back. Should feel good. Exhale, elbow to knee. All you've done with your body this afternoon. Kick back, reach forward. Elbow to knee. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Back to all fours, hands and knees. And take an inhale, tuck your toes. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog. And feel your tailbone slide up. Work it one more time. So every time there is a unique intersection, hence timing, as to what you're feeling. Outer hips back, what you're thinking, how you're breathing, inner thighs up, flex your belly, press your feet down, and then try to pull your feet apart. Okay, so you're directing in the feet as though you're drawing them away, but you're not actually moving them. Okay, and now add the hands, pressing down, and twist the elbows in. And then go ahead and drag the hands apart, but they don't move. So that is turning on your downward facing dog. That'll make you sweat in about 10 seconds. Notice you can endure it for a period of time. And then maybe the hands fall out. And then maybe the feet fall out. But your outer hips, your inner thighs, and your belly stay. So there's 5 points into your down dog. Even if you've got 2, even if you've got 3. And perhaps you still got all 5. Last 3 breaths, 1 minute down dog. On your exhale, left knee comes outside your left wrist, single pigeon. And just go to show down dog is not a, let's say, simple nor a pose that we should be taking off. We do a lot of down dog. And because of how much we do it, right, it can be a place where we end up collapsing versus supporting. Pigeon prep, take an inhale. Exhale, come down onto your forearms. And stay on your forearms today. And feel the distance between your knees. Those of you that are going a little bit further in your pigeon, you can stretch your arms out in front. Keep your hips square. And your pelvis, belly, and chest can come down onto the ground. If you've experienced moments of release, it's all worth it. If you've had a moment of peace, if you've been able to watch your mind, if you've been able to move with your breath, it's all worth it. And come back onto your hands, rock off to your left hip. And we'll come into a seated twist. So your right leg, pull it forward. Step your right foot outside your left thigh. If your right sitting bone won't touch the ground, straighten your left leg out in front. And then right hand behind, kickstand your heart. Inhale your left arm up. Okay, now stay here and reach your left arm up and back. You feel that first on your exhale. Now twist, elbow to the outside of your thigh. And adjust your right hand as you need to. Roll your heart up. And shoulders down. And exhale, twist. And listen to the audible sound of your breath. And support with your belly in the transition. Open the eyes. Inhale to center. Exhale, left hand back. Right leg swings behind you. So out the way we came in through pigeon. Your back toes. And square your hips. Press back. Lead with your tailbone. Downward facing dog. And 5 points of your down dog. Outer hips back. Inner thighs up. Belly in. Feet ground. Pull them away from each other. Hands firm. Pull them away from each other. On your exhale, bring your right knee to your right wrist, single pigeon. And slide your left knee back, pigeon prep. There's a lot of room in pigeon to listen to your intuition. In good space to reflect. You say on this practice, this adventure, and that you've been on for about an hour. You remember, if you make it an hour, give yourself a lot of credit. This stuff's not easy to do in a class, let alone at your home. So checking in, all good. Come down onto your forearms. And you may notice that the breath has opened up a little bit more. And there's a direct connection between your body opening up and then your breaths getting longer. And when your breaths get longer, that frequency in relationship with your mind, you're going to lower the frequency of your brain waves. And then that's when you get to observe the state of your being. In square, you can take your arms out, and hips heavy, and belly and chest closer to the ground. You're welcome to stay right where you are. Feels nice. Come back up to your hands. Off to your right hip. And slide your left leg forward. Set up for a seated twist. Left foot to the outside of your right thigh. If your left sitting bone doesn't want to ground, then straighten your right leg out in front. Left hand behind. And reach your right arm up. Keep it up. Reach back. So the outer hips open enough. And then twist, right elbow outside your left thigh. And just your left hand, ground your seat. You lift your chest up, shoulders down. As you exhale, and rotate a little deeper. Bring it out. You lift it out of your low spine, open the eyes, inhale, come back to center. And exhale, right hand steps off, uncross your legs in front. And bring the soles of your feet to meet. And take your hands around to the outside edges of your feet. And feet together, knees wide. And shoulders down, pull your heart center up, take an inhale. And as you exhale, hinge, elbows to your inner shins. And bring your chest forward and then slightly down. You maintain the lift in your heart. You should feel a sensation lower third of your spine. And then also you're feeling your inner thighs. You can go ahead and rise, come back up. And hands to your outer knees, bring your knees back together. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. Arms around your shins, forehead to your knees. You let your chin settle. Take a moment and to acknowledge in your breath and your practice, your flow this afternoon. I hope we can find some peace. Stillness in light in our final Shavasana. Go ahead and release your legs straight, and we'll come to lie down onto your backs. You may find yourself feeling very relaxed in this moment. Perfect balance of exerting yourself and yet also listening to your body. If you truly consider how you're treating your body in every action, every movement, in every breath as you have for this last hour, it's possible this deep state of relaxation. And here you should be able to see a fairly dramatic difference, being inside and versus attached into anything outside of you. Right? You can exist here and also play out there. You can do both. You feel good, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Have a beautiful rest of the day. And I look forward to practicing with you tomorrow. And stay as long as you like in your Shavasana. And to all the light. Namaste.